At a high level, in the UK, speaking for Oath, but also perhaps for the publishing industry, given your role at the IAB, where do things stand in terms of optimism or caution around the program about being in the programmatic space?
It's really interesting. Actually, I'll talk from an IAB perspective just first of all. IAB Europe released some research this week, the Attitudes to Programmatic Survey. And in that, the optimism is there. 90% of people from advertisers, agencies and publishers across Europe are talking about investing more money in the coming months. That's their expectation. There obviously have been some headwinds, particularly in the last 18 months, 2 years, around trust and transparency. And we are seeing some evolution in hybrid models. So from a buy side, we're seeing more engagement, I think, from advertisers and agencies in the decisions they make, some more direct contracting. But this, to me, feels part of maturity of an industry and actually us reaching a grown-up state where when it was a smaller side portion of money, then it maybe didn't get the attention. As it starts to be 60-70% of ad spend, then people want to have that control. I think the industry has responded really well from some IAB initiatives and from platforms themselves to employ things like ads.text, right? To actually use GDPR as a way to think differently about consumers and really try and shorten that supply chain or be clear about who has the right to sell this inventory, who has the opportunity to position it. I'm really optimistic about the opportunity going forward. This week we've actually launched Oath ad platforms, and that's our opportunities for buyers to use Oath DSP, using Oath data and targeting to really drive forward on delivering customer goals and expectations. And our Oath Publisher Suite, which enables a publisher to monetize their video, but also has additional tools like video syndication, where they can actually pass their content on to other partners, where they can grow their pool of content and compete. It's a very competitive market. Publishing has always been a very competitive market, I think.
Could you explain a little bit more about Oath DSP and how that works and how it sort of sits in the middle of your business?
For sure. So obviously Oath came together under the Verizon ownership umbrella in the last 15 months, and in that time we've been engineering different technologies we had in those companies to find a new combined opportunity. That's leveraging the best of both of the DSPs that existed before, leveraging the data assets of Oath as well, so in terms of where we can have consumer data that we've collected appropriately and are able to package and push that out to make decisions across the web. Obviously we're a very data sensitive organisation, and so we're gaining consent where we're gaining that users using the IAB framework and are able to offer on a consent basis people to build their targeting across display, video. There's native opportunities. There's actually a new opportunity to access the Oath native marketplace directly via the DSP that's launching at this time as well.
And I wanted to ask you, Simon, about performance and expectations and how that might be changing from the demand side, from the buyers, what they are looking for from you and how you're delivering that and perhaps measuring it as well.
So I think certainly this is where I think we see that greater engagement from people. I think we're seeing moves away from traditional attribution from last click models. I think it's really hard to talk at an all-up level because you actually have to look at the category of the buyer, the behavior of the buyer, and we see it both from the Oath DSP perspective but also from people who buy into our supply side platforms about trying to find quality audiences in trusted environments. What a buyer is looking for is efficient pricing decisions, really well-driven machine learning and optimization and understanding, and the ability to build data segments that help address that audience. And I feel we've made really significant progress in that space.
And finally, the platform discussion. It's the year of mobile. We've been saying, of course, mobile is huge, but tell us a little bit about your business from a platform perspective and how that's changing.
So from a publisher platform basis, so we sit on both sides of this world. We've consolidated a number of our publisher platforms as well, and are moving forward to a state where we have a combined SSP for display and mobile inventory, mobile video and in-app, and a separate video platform which can also take account of some of the needs of video syndication and the more complex video environments. And that's work we're delivering through right now. And I think that offers Oath a great opportunity moving forward on both the demand and the supply side to meet publisher needs and to meet the needs of marketeers. And we're we're pretty excited about where we are right now.
Great. And finally, this year's DMEXCO, some conversations you've had. How do you sort of take the temperature here?
It's good. I think DMEXCO is always about business and day-to-day business to some degree. There's a really good appetite for audio opportunities here. So for audio ads, I think that could be a strong emerging area in Germany. That's definitely an emerging area in the whole industry as well. It feels to me that also we're moving past that trust and transparency as the concern in the industry has responded, and there are still concerns and people are taking control, but actually a sense of optimism I think is back into programmatic. And remembering the value of what programmatic can also deliver as part of a campaign, but there are other ways to buy and it's not necessarily the be all and end all of everything. So I think it's a great conference, it's pretty busy, pretty buzzy, lots of meetings, lots of tired feet.